Every single one of us has toxic traits, but it doesn't mean we're all toxic people. A skill that you need is to instantly recognize toxic behaviors in others and in yourself, so you can walk away as soon as possible and better your life. If you're obsessed with self-development, it's impossible to become a better person if you're surrounded with people who bring you down. I say toxic behaviors and not toxic people because people aren't born toxic, they're just hurt and unaware. This trend of toxic doesn't really work because we're all toxic in our own ways. The difference is that some people work on themselves and others just don't. Please stop letting people treat you like garbage just like everyone else because you don't want to seem mean. If someone twists your words or mocks you or makes you feel terrible or manipulates you, it is not good. Have a little bit of self-respect. All the tips in this podcast come from real-life harsh experiences that I've reflected on at school, with friends, and family. And this is not the usual chapters today, just a list of red flags that you need to look out for in others and in yourself. I've been best friends with two of the most toxic girls on this planet, so I can spot toxic behaviors pretty well now. First off, people who have a lot of toxic behaviors are going to be mastermind manipulators. They're masters at mindfuck. So first up, before anything else, the basics. They don't respect your time, your space, your voice, your opinions, your personality, taste, dreams, etc. They basically don't respect your personality. But time is one of the biggest things ever because it is one of our most precious things that we have because it will end one day. We don't have unlimited time. So if they disrespect your time, it's a direct hit to your respect. If they don't show up to a rendezvous or they cancel at the last minute all the time, again, personal experience, you tell them and they don't listen, that person does not give a flying crap about you. And if it's on a regular basis, of course, because we're all late sometimes, but I mean on a regular basis. Number 2, they won't let you express yourself. If you have an opinion, especially strong opinions, they won't want to hear it. Some people will contradict everything you say just for the sake of contradicting you. Some people don't care about what you think. And I've had a lot of people like this who don't care about what you think, even when you listen to them. And my advice here is to just shut up. Don't say anything. Just listen to what the others have to say, because if they don't want to listen to you, just listen to them. It doesn't matter. And if you're with narrow-minded people, there's no point in discussing certain things. Just follow my advice. If a discussion feels really bad, if your feelings are telling you, I don't enjoy this is not getting me anywhere, then just don't have that discussion. Every discussion that you have should improve your life and better your life and help you become a better person. If the discussion you're having is not building anything else for you and the other person, then just don't have it. Number 3 is, like I said, manipulation, because toxic people are masterminds at manipulation. And the 2 girls that I was friends with were masterminds at manipulation. So the first basic soft level of manipulation is that they'll compliment you and then they'll ask you for a favor. That happened to me again. This girl would compliment me 24/7. Like, oh my gosh, I love your hair. I love your outfit, your makeup, your grades, your handwriting, whatever. And it would feel really fake sometimes, but I'm not gonna lie, it still felt really good to my ego. And you can't really tell someone to stop complimenting you, you know what I mean? Then this girl would periodically need favors, and since I'm a nice person, I wouldn't question it. You need my notes right before the test when I'm revising? Sure, here you go. You need school supplies? Take anything you want. You're thirsty and you want my water? Have a sip. You need to brush your hair? Just borrow my hairbrush. You need to borrow money? Sure, that's when it gets dangerous, by the way. And if I say no, then I'm just an egoistic, mean, rude person right away. Mindfuck level, about 5 out of 10. And it did happen once that this girl borrowed something from me and never gave it back to me, and she would lie constantly about not finding it. Then I went to her house asking for it, because even though it's not worth a lot of money, I had baked her cookies and I put it in that box and I gave it to her. So it was a nice gesture, and she never gave me that glass box back. I even came to her house to ask for it. She searched for it and did not find it, even though it was in her house and she had a very small apartment. So yeah, and then she asked me to get out of her house very rudely, even though I was asking for something that was mine. And even though it's not worth a lot of money, it's the gesture, you know? Number 4 is just typical high school behavior, but tons of adults of all ages, especially women, do this, which is talking badly about others behind their backs, bitch talking, gossiping, which is such a feminine woman thing. I don't know why, but it's so harmful in so many ways for others and for yourself. When all you have to do is gossip about what others are doing wrong, that's just very sad, to be honest, and very unattractive and very low on the vibrational scale. Because if a new person you met loves to gossip, just stay away. Trust me, it brings nothing but trouble. Sometimes I feel drawn to gossiping in a weird way, but trust me, it will rot your brain and your heart. Usually, the more you talk bad about others, the more they'll talk bad about you. If you're a big all-time gossiper, then just remember that karma will come back and bite you in the butt. I had separated myself from this one girl again because she was very toxic, the same one I talked about. And one day my best friend overheard her say that I only dressed to impress and my outfits were all so dressed to impress, blah, blah, blah. And I wish she could know that I do not care. I will wear pastel purple business pants and a black jellyfish top to class to play basketball if I want to, which I did, by the way. And I don't care if she finds it dressed to impress because I like it, so I will wear it. Please do the same thing. Just do whatever you want. It doesn't matter what other people think. Number 5. Picture this person called Charlie, which is constantly making jokes at your expense. You feel really bad every time these jokes appear, and you want to tell that person off, but when you do, you're told that it's a joke and it's supposed to be funny. Once you gather up the courage to firmly tell the person off, but nobody gets you because Charlie is just the nicest person and it was all just a joke. So you're seen as the villain who is rude. What I'm saying is, if someone makes rude jokes about you, instead of forcing yourself to laugh like a victim, kind of like McFly in Back to the Future, if you get my references, stand up for yourself. Sometimes people might not even realize they're hurting you because they're just rude. I had a girl constantly mocking me in school, and once I gathered up the courage to tell her to shut up in front of a big group of people, and I realized later that she's actually a super sweet, nice person. She just didn't realize the teasing was a bad thing, I guess. Nobody told her, and she was mortified about it. And now we're really good friends because I told her I didn't like it, and she stopped it. So all is good now. Number 6 is a very big one. They will criticize the fact that you are doing the things that you want to do. So it could be taking care of yourself, like, self-care is selfish, whatever it is. Maybe you're doing skincare or resting or workouts because you love working out, or you love eating clean, you love having time for yourself, doing the things you enjoy, buying something, saying what you want, doing what you want, asking for what you want. If you like to take care of your appearance or yourself overall and you're getting criticized for it, it's not great. You could be criticized for eating clean because why do you care so much? You can be criticized for going to bed early because why do you care so much? It's a trend nowadays to say that being selfish is how you get successful. I only agree in the sense that in order to go somewhere better, you need to be selfish with your most precious things, which are your time, who, where, when, and with who you spend it, and your relations, so who you choose as your friends, etc. Or these people might criticize your dreams, your aspirations, what's on your vision board, people who overall bring you down to uplift themselves. Number 7, they will turn the situation against you the moment you try to set a boundary. For example, if your goal is to set boundaries, when you do it, well, they will turn the situation back against you. And this has happened several times in my life. In school, for example, maybe you had a situation where you mustered up the courage to say, I don't like what you did there, please stop. And they will instantly tell you, remember, you did that wrong and you did that and this, and they'll make a long list of all the things you ever did wrong in your life to them. And they will never admit, I'm sorry, I hurt you, I'll be careful. You know, you also hurt me when you said that, so now we understand each other better and all is well. Same girl I talked about several times also did this, so it was impossible to tell her to stop. One, because everyone thought she was like the nicest person ever, so you couldn't criticize her. And second of all, she would turn it up against you every time you try to tell her, like, please don't do that, that's mean. A person who isn't toxic will instantly say sorry, like the one girl who would constantly make jokes at my expense, and when I told her to stop, she was mortified, and now we're good friends because she didn't mean it. Number 8 is worse. They could make you doubt your worth and convince you that you're the problem. You need to change, you need to be fixed, and sometimes you do need to change, and sometimes you are the problem. But it's a red flag if you're on a very committed self-development journey and that you strive to get better every day, and someone makes you feel like you need to be fixed. You're already doing that. You're already fixing yourself every day, and you're already on a lifelong journey to becoming a better person. So if you're really into self-growth and a person makes you think, what if I'm toxic? They're showing me that they're not the problem, so I have to be the problem. Especially if you do a lot of journaling and introspection and you reflect on your thoughts and your emotions, and you're asking yourself if you're a toxic person, then it might be that you're not the problem. Number 9, they will contradict everything you say. Kind of like the parrot that repeats everything you said when you were in kindergarten, those annoying kids who would do that. But the opposite. I also had a friend like that who would contradict everything I said when she was in the mood for it, and it was very, very annoying. Just because she wanted to annoy me. That was her principal mood and goal for the day. Number 10 is no goals, no future. If someone in your circle has no goals and absolutely nothing that they strive for, I think personally that it's a huge red flag. If you are into self-development and if you have tons of things that you strive for, you need to have friends who also have a lot of things that they strive for. Someone who has no goals will have so much free time to spare and will usually use it to do bad things like gossiping or spreading rumors on social media or commenting mean things, especially when it's girls and women. A person with no goals will not get you anywhere or inspire you to become a better person, especially for someone obsessed with self-growth. So like I said, we all have our toxic behaviors we need to work on. And it's important to journal about the things that you know you do wrong and the things you know that you have to work on. But at least I think personally that the biggest toxic behavior is when you tell a person that you want them to stop toxic behavior, you want them to stop, and they refuse to face what they did wrong. Because people who will never say, I was wrong and I'm sorry I hurt you, when they see that you are hurt, if they love you, they will apologize. And if they don't love you, they can also apologize, but it's easy to see if they're honest, unless they're mastermind manipulators. At the end of the day, if you tell someone they did something wrong towards you and you explain how you feel, and they say sorry, then all is well. Thank you for listening to another episode of the Supernova Shift podcast, and I'll see you next Monday for a brand new episode.